Content warning. This is a horror game and not intended for all audience. Please visit our website if you need a specific list of content warnings. This also contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions causes motion sickness in players. If either of these effects cause health issues, you can disable them in game's preferences.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mechamac, this is Slay the Princess. In the previous episode, the exact opposite happened. The princess slayed us, she had a very unhappy time of it. And she's gonna have an even more unhappy time when we get to the next one because we're searching for new routes and none of them involve just letting her walk out the exit. Something that I haven't really given credit to is just how upset the princess is in Route 1 when you get down this route. So often I find myself being quite impressed by the talent of the voice actors in this game. But yeah, we die. Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Turn around and leave.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Yeah, I figured as much. This is going to be the new mirror. Every route I'm going to examine the mirror because it makes the narrator nervous, and every route I'm going to try and turn around and leave because Omni Princess won't like it. Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Our beloved?
Oh man, this might be the first time that... is this the only time where Voice of the Hero reacts to one of the new voices right at the start like this?
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
I don't feel like anything new can come from saying from the Explore, so yeah, let's just proceed.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
I remember on Reddit a while back, I actually saw a compilation art piece of what each voice would theoretically look like, and I remember quite clearly that Voice of the Smitten looked like a D&D bard. Well, I actually don't know what D&D bards look like, but it's definitely some sort of posh noble outfit. Like the Romeo to the Juliet? I don't know. I'm not good at describing things, guys.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Why would you lie about that? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Now approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Let's take the blade this time.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
We damned a whole world. But everything reset.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Actually, is he usually this open about jumping between worlds, or... No, I guess every time you say, what's the point, he does give a hypothetical Well, hypothetically, this might just be a different world that you're starting from the start again with. Never mind. Do I have to cut you out again? I really didn't care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Oh. So, I brought the knife this time because I remember from one of the visions on the Stranger route, you can actually see using the knife to break through the chains. I guess it's not on this route then. I should have thrown the knife out the window.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
What happened after this narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair. You know what? I'll say it.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure.
Okay, let's rescue her again this time.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't.
Voice of the Paranoid could do it. I bet Smitten could.
I would.
Heck, Voice of the Broken could do it too.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
We leave. We have our whole lives to figure out what we do next.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope
for the entire world.
At some point I am going to have to stab her and I'm going to feel very awful about doing it, but it's not this route.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair! We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think I've got this. Open the door by yourself.
Okay, yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door,
And
the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
ha! I knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one.
I was thinking that we'd try to break the door down, but I guess with the voice of the smitten we're always going to get the polite way through.
You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works.
Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her.
And now we do a divergence. All we need to be happy is each other. What if we just stayed here and built a life together?
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. We don't need the world. All we need is each other.
That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested it?
Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, there's your answer, hero.
You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed by our proclamation of love?
Are we not enough for her? She's not wooed by you because
Staying here and building a life together
isn't a seduction. It isn't anything. It's a non-answer. It can't be done.
Trust me, it'll be better for both of us if we stay. We can be happy here. We just have to want it.
But we would have to be here forever. I don't know you. This is really what you want, though, isn't it?
Her eyes dart uncomfortably to the corners of the room.
I guess we could do that.
She doesn't seem happy about this.
But she can't be unhappy about staying with us. Can she?
I don't know. She has a point. She doesn't know us.
No. It has to be him. It has to be this place. If we just made these walls more fitting for a princess. If we just say the right things. If we just showed her the contents of our heart. She'd be happy here.
As the voice thinks its thought, your hands raise, fingers pointing towards your chest, and then...
What?
No, you absolutely do not do that.
Oh, but I do.
Oh dear, Smitten is the villain this time, I guess.
What? What is he doing? We can't see unless you tell us. Are you sure you want to know? I suppose I can't stall forever. You plunge your nails into your chest, digging deep, grasping for a handhold. And you find it. Your finger.
Oh no! What are you doing? Are you okay? You can't do that and be okay.
I did not let him finish speaking, did I? Grasping for a handhold, you find it, your fingers curling around your ribs.
Time out. He should not be allowed to do that. He's not the decider. And yet, it's done, isn't it? It will be soon. You yank violently, your bones cracking with wet pops as you pull yourself apart inch by painful inch. Your exposed heart, framed by jagged ribs, thumps rhythmically in your raw, bloodied chest. The loosened threads of your body unfurling to cover the surface of the room.
Don't mind my sacrifice. It's a fair price to pay to give her everything she doesn't know she wants.
Because it's a horror game. Only in this specific route, we're the monster.
Oh, I see. You're trying to tell me something. It's beautiful.
The princess, mesmerized, reaches towards your beating heart, and then everything goes dark and we die? Yes.
Epilogue. Happily ever after.
You're on a path in the woods. Mate, we're clearly already in the cabin.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? I guess next time we check out what this epilogue is all about. Until then, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. I know it's a bit earlier than usual, but it is late, and I feel like this new content is actually something to give itself its own episode for.